Okay, here we are, as I managed to miss the open due to a meeting. I'm sitting down here very close to 10:30 Eastern Time, just about 1 hour. I actually see Baba sort of breaking out here. You know what I'll do? I'm going to take Baba for 2,100 shares long here. I just went long. It's moving up to the upside here. I like what I see on the daily chart. I like the fact that it's pulled back over the last several days, so it's not in an overbought scenario. I mean, I'm just long right now. As you can see, I'm down $3. So that basically means I'm long a little on the high side. I tried to get long down here, but it was moving so rapidly that I had to chase it a little bit. So I'm not positive by very much because I'm long pretty much very close to where the price is right now. So I'm not going to be afraid of a pullback either. A pullback is going to have me get more long. In fact, I'm bidding down here around 85.20 for more. And I have no problem bidding down even lower for more. So if Baba pulls back, it'll be pulling back into my buy orders. All right. So this is where I'm long. I'm long around 85.30, which is very high. I should have been long here, but I just fired up my trading system. Had I fired up my trading system just a few minutes earlier, I would have nabbed Baba right as it cleared this price congestion area, and at the same time, right as it cleared yesterday's closing price. So yesterday's closing price was serving as some form of resistance for Baba. And as you can see, the price was bumping up against yesterday's closing price. But what you see here is what is called an ascending triangle type formation. You have the lows as it's bumping up against a constant ceiling, which is yesterday's closing price. We call it the PDC, the prior day's closing price. The lows are creeping up higher and higher, tighter and tighter, and boom, until you get the breakout. These lows suggest that the breakout is somewhat imminent. All right, the rising lows, the flat ceiling, the tightening of the space between the lows and the ceiling creates a pressure cooker like scenario, and it's usually whichever is rising or falling wins. So if the lows are rising with a flat top, the lows eventually push the stock through the flat top. If there's a flat bottom and the highs are declining, it's the lower highs that will eventually push the stock through the flat bottom. A very interesting concept here. Let me see if I can find something else here too. Guilds was such a beautiful, beautiful run this morning off of a powerful 2-minute opening. All right, Starbucks gapped up nicely this morning, and it's from its opening price has given back just about everything. Okay, ESRX is starting to give back a lot as well. Facebook making new lows on the day here. Looks quite negative, as is Twitter. Twitter's giving back a lot of what it had earlier in the morning. SanDisk started off negative and has recouped almost everything. You know, this is interesting. SanDisk has managed to neutralize much of its initial negative drop. That has pushed the overall path of least resistance to up, which means that pullbacks are nothing to be frightened of at this particular point. They actually can be accumulated or bought. So I'll watch SanDisk to see if we can get a pullback in SanDisk to present us with a nice little buy opportunity. That's the $64,000 question for most traders. And I spend a great deal of time with my traders attempting to get them to the place where they can determine the answer to that $64,000 question, which is this: when is a pullback nothing to be frightened of? When is a pullback actually a gift, a reason to buy, versus when is a pullback an early signal that you should run for the hills, that you should get the heck out of Dodge, that you should flee? There's trouble, doom pending. Every pullback's not the same, and an astute trader has to be able to gain the skill of being able to determine which is which pullbacks are the good ones. Look at Baba. This is not a good pullback, by the way. And which pullbacks are the bad ones? All right, this is a collapse. Now, collapses are not great pullbacks. All right, the pullbacks that are orderly, that are not all that sudden, that kind of drift, those are the ones you want. This pullback in Baba was very strange. All right, it has me down about $345. I'm not concerned with. I'm concerned at the current moment whether I should be attempting to play this pullback here. I'm going to let it settle a little bit. I just don't like the way it dropped like that. It just fell out of bed. All right, let me check to see if something else has. We're still waiting for our SanDisk to pull back. I like the fact that it is above yesterday's closing price. I like the fact that it is above its 200 period moving average. I like the fact that it is above its 20 period moving average. I like the fact that it has rallied significantly enough to neutralize much of this morning's negativity. And a pullback is going to be a gift for me, or at least I hope it is. You never know. You can't ever know. All you can do is assess the odds. You can't ever know. Many people have problems with that reality, with that truth. They spend a great deal of their time trying to get to know, studying, searching for the Holy Grail, which is some system or approach that gives them X-ray vision into the markets or the ability to read the future. They want tea leaves or a crystal ball, and it just doesn't work that way. In the same fashion that it does not work that way for a very talented professional poker player who does not necessarily know which cards are going to be dealt next, but has a handle on the odds of what is likely so well that he winds up at the winner's table year after year after year. It's become just a better assessor of the odds than most. Not a reader of the future, a better assessor of the odds. Like SanDisk to pull back some more, Baba, we need to let that settle a bit. Okay, now let's see if this area of support holds for Baba. The point of the breakout. I just don't like the way it's crashed down here versus drift down here. A very strange sudden collapse. As you can tell, I'm not one to scare very easily. Just because a drop occurs, I like to get a feel and read it a bit. And that confidence just comes from being able to work a trade better than most. Now, SanDisk is experiencing a pause or mild pullback in an orderly fashion. This is what we're talking about. No, this I don't like. I don't like this. This I do not like. So we're going to I'm out. All right, $787 loss. You have to take them every now and then, guys. It's just the way it goes. There is no way to get through a trading life without taking losses. I did not like the way this gave back everything that it eliminated my entire reason for the trade. I did not like the manner in which it did that as well, and I'm just better off on the sidelines at this particular point. All right, now I can sit here and maybe try to work BABA. Maybe there's a move back to the upside or what have you, but the stock threw me. So I just rather be on the sidelines. It's only a $787 loss, which in the grand scheme of things is not all that big. I could perhaps easily get that back in another play, but to sit here and try to fool around with a stock that I'm really just starting to get to know. It doesn't have a long life. I've added it to my list to sort of get to know intimately over time. I don't know it as well as an Apple or a Guild or a Starbucks or a SanDisk and things of that nature. So I'm just better off on the sidelines here. So I want you to understand that while this is a losing trade, there's a lot to be learned from this. Why did I get concerned? The manner in which BABA pulled back. I was looking for a pullback, but the manner in which it pulled back, the collapse-like nature, the sudden falling out of bed type collapse is not what I was looking for. There are, as I mentioned earlier in the recording, there are rallies and pullbacks that are normal and bullish in the context of the rally. And then there are rallies and collapses that are reasons to be concerned in the context of that rally. And BABA experienced that, the rally and collapse. So that was one reason that had me just exit the trade. The second reason is the fact that not only did it collapse, but the collapse managed to completely eliminate the very reason for my entering the trade, the breakout above the prior day's close resistance area, the breakout above this tight consolidation all morning. All right? And that's a very valid reason to buy. But the complete neutralization, the complete eradication of my reason was the second cause for me to feel better on the sidelines. And there you have it, traders. It's a losing trade, but much is to be gained from winning trades. You can gain many lessons from your losing trades, if not more. This is Oliver Velez signing out for another trading session, but only for now.